Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a genuinely fascinating case study. We're going to reverse engineer a completely resource-driven business success story, one that totally challenges the standard ideas of what it actually takes to build a thriving enterprise from scratch. If you've ever felt like you just don't have the resources to start something big, well, this explainer is going to shift your perspective completely. The story of Damru, from the quiet village of Jotunpur, is literally a masterclass in spotting high-value opportunities where everyone else just sees, everyday life. So can a successful business actually be built without high formal education? Society constantly tells us that a fancy university degree is the absolute, non-negotiable baseline for entrepreneurial success, right? But what happens when you have zero formal education, literally no starting capital, but this deep, undeniable drive to succeed? Keep that question right in the back of your mind as we walk through this incredible journey together. All right, let's dive right into this. Here, we're looking at 4 distinct phases of really rapid strategic growth. In phase 1, our founder Damru starts out as a humble goat herder, but by phase 2, he's miraculously launching a hospitality startup. Then phase 3 sees him actually securing institutional bank financing to expand. And finally, by phase 4, the guy has scaled up to become the primary economic engine and employer for his entire village. I mean, this isn't a story of decades of slow grinding. This is a rapid strategic ascent. So let's find out exactly how he pulled this off. Section 1, Damru's new thought. Let's look at the initial spark that changed everything. To really understand this, we have to look at where he started. Damru was living in intense poverty in Jotunpur. He basically spent his days grazing goats under the hot sun because, well, he had zero other career prospects. He had never stepped foot in a classroom to study business. But a spark happened when a respected village elder, Bablu Chacha, told him something profound. A person can become successful even with less education. That one sentence completely shattered his limiting beliefs. Bablu Chacha made him realize that resourcefulness, grit, and just a sheer willingness to take action will outrank a formal degree any day of the week. This completely shifted Damru's mindset from one of limitation to just pure possibility. Moving on to Section 2, the unique agritourism idea. Now, what's really interesting here is that while Damru finally had that entrepreneurial fire, he still needed a viable concept. Enter Anita, a girl from a neighboring village. She looked at his everyday reality, just a standard farming plot, and this massive ancient people tree. And she didn't just see a farm. She saw a massive, untapped business opportunity. She saw the foundation for a unique nature resort. You see, agrotourism isn't just some fun niche concept. It's a highly profitable, rapidly growing real-world industry. It elegantly combines agriculture with tourism to give stressed-out city folks a deeply authentic, grounding rural experience. Damru and Anita realized that what was just mundane, everyday life to them was actually an exotic, premium experience for someone trapped in the concrete jungle. Let's break down the exact strategic steps Damru and Bablu Chacha used to execute Anita's brilliant vision. Step 1, they didn't go out and try to buy expensive new land. They just utilized their overlooked local assets, that giant people tree and authentic village cooking. Step 2, Damru tapped into his network, getting a small starter loan through Bablu Chacha. Step 3, they actually constructed a beautiful elevated treehouse right there on that tree, overlooking the lush green fields. And step 4, they built a service model centered purely on providing an unfiltered, completely authentic village experience. Section 3, first success and service. Building the product is really only half the battle, right? Getting your very first paying customer is the ultimate test of any business. Their first client was Dharma Ji, a highly successful corporate executive from Mumbai who ran a company with hundreds of employees. So how on earth do you impress someone used to modern, big city luxury with a wooden treehouse in a remote village? Well, you do it through impeccable, hyper-authentic service. They didn't try to mimic some generic city hotel. No, they served deeply flavorful meals cooked entirely in traditional clay pots. They guided Dharmaji through hands-on farming experiences and provided this pristine, incredibly quiet nature view. It was a complete, immersive detox from his high-stress corporate life. And this brilliantly illustrates the immense return on investment you get when you completely exceed a customer's expectations. After his stay, Dharmaji actually handed Damru a massive check for 25,000 rupees. For an uneducated goat herder who had literally never seen that kind of money in his life, this was an absolute paradigm-shifting moment. It proved definitively that the market was more than willing to pay a premium for authentic experiences and just incredible hospitality. Section 4, the power of mouth publicity. A one-off profit is nice, for sure, but to actually scale a business, you need a marketing engine. Damru didn't spend a single dime on internet ads. Instead, he relied on the absolute most powerful marketing engine in the world, a deeply satisfied customer. Dharmaji went back to Mumbai and voluntarily became this organic brand ambassador. He enthusiastically told his employees all about this incredible hidden treehouse in Jatinpur. And this organic word of mouth directly attracted two new, highly enthusiastic city clients, Ajay and Ravi. Notice that Damru acquired these two new customers absolutely free of charge. They arrived at the village already totally sold on the experience because, well, the recommendation came straight from a trusted boss. So, what was the result of this organic marketing? A check for 70,000 rupees. Ajay and Ravi were so utterly blown away by the clay pot food, the village tours, and Damru's incredibly warm hospitality that they happily paid this premium amount. It perfectly demonstrates how rapidly and efficiently word of mouth can scale your revenue. When your product is genuinely remarkable, your customers literally become your most effective sales team. Section 5. Business loan and expansion. You see, success makes noise. When you start bringing serious city wealth into a rural village economy, financial institutions absolutely take notice. This undeniable traction attracted institutional capital, and Sanjay, a rep from CCA Bank, actually traveled straight to Damru's treehouse to personally offer him a financing deal. Now, a standard bank loan in that area usually carries a pretty steep 13% interest rate. But because Damru's business was a proven, highly buzzworthy success that was actively uplifting the local economy, the bank offered him a promotional business loan at just 7.5% interest. So the crucial point here is that building a profitable, high-demand business gives entrepreneurs incredible leverage to negotiate significantly cheaper debt. And Damru was highly strategic with this cheap capital. He took that 7.5% loan and used it to aggressively scale operations right across Jatinpur. He built new tree houses on other trees in the village to drastically increase his capacity. But more importantly, he didn't just grow his own personal wealth. He transformed into a village employer. He hired local farmers to guide the massive influx of tourists, effectively transforming the entire village into an internationally recognized agro-tourism destination. Talk about a real game changer. Section 6. Key lessons of success. Let's synthesize the overarching business framework from this amazing case study. Here are our core actionable takeaways. First up, education is strictly secondary to resourcefulness. Second, you have to monetize overlooked local assets. Seriously, your biggest opportunity might be sitting right in your backyard right now. Third, always deliver flawless, authentic service that completely exceeds expectations. Fourth, harness the power of organic word of mouth by treating your early customers like absolute gold. And finally, leverage your early business traction to negotiate better financial terms for scaling. This is the exact hard business logic Damru used to win. I want to leave you with an energetic, provocative thought today. What unique feature of your own village or city can you turn into a business? What is your personal people tree? Stop waiting for perfect conditions or fancy degrees to get started. Take a hard look around your environment today. Find that overlooked asset and just start building. The opportunity is absolutely there. You just need the mindset to see it. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and I really can't wait to see what you build.